Hello, welcome to the live show, Wednesday Wisdom, weekly on Facebook, every Wednesday at 12 o'clock. My name is Marty Forrest. My website is Hello Extraordinary Life. Check it out. Go there. I'm looking on my other computer because I want to be able to post the link for this amazing, extraordinary, beautiful new ebook that was created. And I was able to do it last time, so I'm going to do that again. Anyway, check it out. Go to helloextraordinarylife.com and I'm muted and get your free guide, 3 steps to reprogramming your negative self-talk. And I'm going to put it here in the comment section. It's a weird thing. I am not, I don't have just a camera that attaches to my computer, so I do it on my phone. But that limits me to doing other things. Anyway, today I'm talking about avoiding burnout. I found myself pressurizing myself to get all these things done and feeling all this stuff that had to happen right now. And how many times have you done that to yourself? Hi, Lise. And Stacy. Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I know it's your lunchtime, so thanks for coming on and joining me live today. It's, let's see. I'm thinking you can hear me. It worked last time, but I'm going to put my headset on anyway. I forgot again. I get nervous. I still get nervous before these calls. Anyway, avoiding burnout. How many of us pressurize ourselves to get so much stuff done because we just have stuff to do? Many of us have families, we have jobs, we have all kinds of things on our list, our to-do list. And what gets compromised? What always gets compromised when we do that? How many of us stop working out or stop eating right or stop doing the things that make us feel good and nurtured on the inside because we have a big long list of things that we need to get done? Possibly, I have found that even when we are living a life of purpose, many of us do this today. We're on purpose. We know what our purpose is. We know why we're here and what we're doing here. And then we get so busy doing that, the same thing happens. I'm a healer. I've been a healer my whole entire life. And however I define that is how busy I can get, depending on what our purpose is. It was something I studied that happens in relationships and marriages. There's certain stages. And I find this true in our lives as we are on this journey of knowing who we are in this world and why we're here in this world, living our families. We work, we have families, we have purposes. Those are all purposes, or higher purposes than me. And we can get so busy living those things because they're purposeful and they're why we're here, what we're here to do. And we get lost because we're so busy providing and giving. And then what happens? Hi, Lisa. And then what happens? Then we lose ourselves. And how many of us do that in relationships? There's just so many ways that we lose ourselves in this process called life. Today, I wanted to talk about that. How do we get clear about where do we put our time and energy, and where do we put our priorities? Where do we live our priorities and stop overcommitting ourselves and avoid that burnout? I think we've all experienced it. I'm pretty sure we have at some point or another, and maybe it's not all the time. And then sometimes life happens and something else takes priority. Right now, somebody gets sick, or your kid gets hurt, or your husband, or just something shows up in your world, and that's your total focus. That's how it is. But what about when we have overcommitted because I do this. I still do this. As much as I'm sitting here talking to you about it today, I still do this thing. Oh, I have an open spot right here on my calendar. Let me add you in there for another appointment. And then when I look at the big view of my calendar, instead of just maybe the day, and I see all the hours, and occasionally I leave no time for lunch. Or if I'm driving somewhere, I leave no time to get there. And now I've put this pressure on myself to get everything done. What has to give? Something has to give. If it doesn't, what do we do to ourselves? What's the next thing we might do to ourselves? We get sick. We get a headache. We just completely shut down because we have nothing left. Because we've made ourselves so busy. And this is our culture. It's our culture. It's our life. It's what we've been taught for most of our life. I'm trying to avoid the glare of my glasses. I keep turning a little bit to keep the window. Hi, Charlie. Keep the window from putting the glare on my glasses. It's distracting me. Anyway, so we do this. Self-imposed, learned, taught, however it happens. And often it's driven by our need to prove our worth. People-pleasing, overachieving. Maybe we just need to make a living. I know some of us go to work and get a paycheck because we got to make a living. And that's what we do. Somewhere in there, we learn to say, okay, this is my means to an end. Then how do I take care of myself outside of that? When I'm not at work today, or when I come home tonight, and I don't have this list of things I have to go, run to the grocery store, or I have a meeting I need to get to, or I volunteered for some other thing I've got to do. Because many of us here watching, many of you that are here with me today, I know we live a life of purpose. The point of creating priorities and avoiding burnout is to look at your schedule, look at your life, look at yourself. What do you need? Or schedule yourself in there, pre-plan it, and schedule yourself in there. I saw someone post yesterday, a friend, she said, I'm going away for a couple of days to write a book or work on her book. She's writing a book. And I thought, what a great idea that will give her the space and the time to focus on her priority and not be distracted over here by life. And she has the ability to do that. Maybe we don't all have that ability. But these are just ideas for you to be able to implement. Because we all do it. I lose track of myself and I get busy and I'm just grateful to have a time at home. Well, why am I becoming a victim of my calendar instead of letting my calendar serve me and putting myself in there? Maybe I block out a time every day and says, this is my time. Instead of just filling it all in because I have the time available. Because the higher our purpose and the more we live on purpose, I find the more. Now, what I'll tell you is I'm no longer trying to prove myself. I'm not living a purpose to try to prove my worth and my self-esteem, and I'm not gaining self-esteem out of doing that. I do it because I love to be in service. What I do here every week, I love to be in service. I love to be able to offer you tips and tools that you can right now implement in your life. Instead of waiting, you can get these things for free. You can hire me. We could go a lot deeper. Get one-on-one coaching. That's what I do. But for now, you're here. So I love to be able to offer something of value to you to take away and go, oh, let me go try that thing out. Let me go take a look at my calendar and see where I need to put myself in. If you tell someone you're busy, no, I can't make an appointment at that time, it's none of their business why. Stop telling them why. Stop giving them ammunition why you can't do it at that time. I did my life a lot like that. Oh, I can't do it because blah, blah, blah. And I would give them these reasons and excuses, which gave them ammunition to try to manipulate me. And I did the same thing. They're not just, I can't lay the blame out on them and say, oh, they're the only ones doing it, because that's what I did. But I don't owe anybody a reason why I'm busy. I don't have to tell them why I'm busy. Oh, I blocked that time out for me. Oh, well, you could just squeeze me in. No, tell them. I'm not available, period. No explanation. But then how do we get okay if you walk around, many of us do this, walk around feeling guilty? Feeling guilty because I couldn't take care of them or because so then we have to come right back around to what am I trying to prove? And who am I trying to prove it to? where did that message come from that I have to live up to someone else's expectation or prove my worth on this planet? I lived a long time that way, so I get really passionate about, I am no longer here to prove anything to anyone. I live it. Let me back up a little bit. When I stopped trying to live my life proving myself, then the question drove me. Well, then why am I here? What makes me want to get up every day and write or do a video every week? What drives me now? I think I posed the question. I don't remember if I gave you the answer then. So today I'll tell you, what drives me today is my purpose. And all of you here, I know, live a life of purpose. So if that's what drives you, awesome. If you know what your purpose is and it still drives you to prove it, then that's a whole other conversation. And that's where we get to stop, pause, breathe. I repeat this a lot. Stop, pause, breathe. Check in with yourself. Let's say you've created this list. You're looking at your calendar and you realize that you're way overbooked, or maybe you're just done. You just don't have any energy left to give. What has to give on that calendar? Then check in with yourself. Try it on. Test drive it. If I don't do this, how do I feel? If I go do this, how do I feel? If we're good at listening to our body, we know that right away. But if we're not good, those are some questions you can ask yourself. Just try it on. If I go to this event, or I go to this coffee date, or I go to this meeting, or whatever that is, I go to this board meeting or something volunteering, how do I feel? If I don't do it, how does that make me feel? Which makes me feel lighter and more alive. Because our head will get in the way. It does. I don't want to, and you can't make me. That's just chatter. But when you really check in with yourself, check in with your body, about how does it feel, doing it or not doing it, you just trust that. Trust that. It will tell you always what is in your best interest. Also, another way to create those priorities, so once you've overcommitted in your priorities, then narrow it down. Being a healer, that can look any way. It can manifest in any way. And I thought it was my job to heal the world and to fix you and everyone else. And when I really started getting in tune with, how does this manifest for me? Because I can make it go anywhere. Just like whatever that purpose is, you can make it go anywhere. You can fit it anywhere. Then we get overcommitted. So narrow it down. Like when we have a job or we have a career and they say, have a niche. We're not quite in a niche, but narrow it down to what is yours. And then choose. You can test drive it before you make a commitment even. How does it feel if I take this commitment on? How does it feel if I don't take this commitment on? Another thing you can do before giving anyone an answer for that commitment that you're going to put on the calendar, A, check with someone else, B, give yourself 24 hours before you make the commitment. That will help you stay aligned in those priorities. Instead of, I'm so excited about this thing, whatever it is, that I can come and help you with, or I can do whatever it is for my purpose with. I get excited in that, and I get all emotional. I make that decision right now emotionally, and then I look at the calendar, and then now I'm way overcommitted. Nothing gets my best. Instead of pausing, breathing, taking that moment, asking somebody, when do you need an answer by? And if they need it right now, it's most often no. With no explanation, again, because we don't owe them anything. This takes practice. This is not something that we just do because I said so today. It's not that easy always. We get caught up in that, oh my God, they're going to not like me if I say no. And well, then what was it worth anyway? Really. I have a friend who, she works a lot, and then they want her to work more, and then they ask her for more, and then she finally hits this place of burnout. Instead of just saying no. And I don't know about you all, but I lived in that place too. I'm going to say yes to everything because I want everyone to like me, and I'm trying to prove that I'm worthy. By you liking me, that's how I got my worth. And then when I stopped doing that, it was super uncomfortable. I thought I still owed you an explanation because now I'm doing all this growth. So now I want you to understand the growing that I'm doing, so you won't be mad at me. It's just that insidiousness, right? The paradox of it all. It takes a minute to stop giving explanations to people or explaining why I can't help you. There are many things today that I really, really want to do. Some networking events that I want to go to, and I've already got a commitment for something else. And then I think to myself, oh, well, I could just alternate. I could do that one week and that. Why? That's just crazy making. I have a commitment. I have a higher priority commitment already in place. And I'm doing that mental chatter, trying to talk myself into doing something else because I really want to do that thing, but it doesn't fit right now. And sometimes that's what we call God doing for us what we can't do for ourselves, or what we won't do for ourselves. I've already made the commitment. And instead of trying to make it work, to add more in, I keep the first commitment that is my priority. Okay, sometimes we don't know what they are. I have a friend I'm thinking of, and she's been she has this great, amazing purpose. She helps a lot of people in that purpose. And a lot of it's just experience because she doesn't really know where that fits yet, or how much she can do, or how much she can actually give. That's a lot of us, right? We have to go figure out by experience. Sometimes that's School of Hard Knocks. Instead of taking some simple suggestions of look at your calendar, feel it in your body before you make a commitment. Take the time to pause and see what's going to work for you. Sit with it. We just don't even, we're so undisciplined, and we're so, what's the word? We're so habituated and trained in our culture and in our lives and in our parenting. My dad was a workaholic. He worked a lot. I learned from him. I learned it really well from him, and amazing man, but he prime example, because he worked so hard, and when he injured himself, he didn't take care of himself. In those moments, it just went away. It got better. How many of you do that? I've done that. Have any of you done that? I'm certain. Come later in life, he's now got a bulging disc in L4 and 5. He's had a heart attack at 54 for other reasons, and chronic pain for the remainder of 20 years of his life, because he didn't do it then. Not a right or wrong thing. It's just how it is, just what's so. But how many of us do that? We just keep going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny until the Energizer dies, and we collapse. We're depressed. We cry. Whatever that is for you, however that shows up for you. So today, sit down, take a look at it. Take a look at your calendar and decide, is it really aligned with me and my purpose and my priorities? There's some things that I was telling someone, she was talking about changing your mind, and I said, well, there's times I've made a commitment, and it's not to me, but I'm showing up for other people. Do I just cancel on them? Sometimes I do. It doesn't feel good, and it's not comfortable, but sometimes that's how I have to honor me and my priorities to take care of me. There are some things that's not going to happen with. It's just not. And then I feel better when I go anyway. So that's where that test driving it. I'm going to keep coming back to that. Test drive it. Feel it in your body. Your body will not lie to you. And if you can't feel it, because we're not used to listening, we're used to this chattering and doing the guilt thing and what we have to do or we're supposed to do, and listen to your body. Pause, breathe, close your eyes. If I go to that play, just for an example, how does that feel? How does it feel if I cancel and don't go? And then feel it. Don't think it. It's not a head thing. It's a feel thing. And then take the direction. Whatever that answer is, take the direction. Be uncomfortable with it. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's where the stretch is. And that's where we learn bigger ways to honor our priorities and take care of ourselves. We don't do it. Nobody else is going to do it. We could go pay them to do it. But on our insides, nobody can do that for us. Only we can. So stop, pause, breathe, test drive it. How does it feel inside of you? Listen to your body. And then for yourself, know what your purpose is and get aligned in that and decide. Consciously choose where you want to put your time and energy. Because it can take on a whole lot. One of my friends, Lisa, is on here. She's a healer also. So, it can just take on a whole lot of things and a whole lot of ways of doing and thinking that I can do it all. And the truth is, if I try to do it all, and if you try to do it all, crash and burn, or we have nothing left. And then we reach burnout, and then we have to crawl back out of that place. And it's incremental. These things are incremental because maybe you're there. Maybe you've hit that place of burnout, which is why you're listening today. So incrementally, you start to lift yourself back up. And then what are you going to do to fill yourself up? Define for yourself what that looks and feels like and how you do that for yourself. Where do you go to do that for yourself? Do you go to the ocean? You go to the beach? Ocean, beach, same thing, yes. You go out to nature. Go hug a tree. Go walk barefoot on the earth. Go have a really deep, intimate conversation with somebody that you love. What is that for you? What are those things that fill you up inside? Because there's somewhere in there's a balance. And sometimes it gets a little off. It's when it goes like this that the problems arise. If we keep it like this, because the truth is there's going to be times when something takes a priority and you're not going to take care of yourself in those moments. But you do the best you can. If you have someone that's sick in the hospital or someone's been injured and you're taking care of them, take moments. And if we come from a place that's filled, when those priorities hit and you have to give it, you feel like you have to give it, it's your family, it's your partner, it's your mom or your parent or your kid, then you're at least equipped because you're coming from someplace of full. And then you know how to take moments to fill up again, or at least add to it. It may not completely fill you up, but it adds to it. Because that's our life. And that's how it is when something comes up unexpectedly. And it's okay that we do that. Because that's what we do. And that's another way we are in service. But take notice. When that's the priority, it doesn't matter what else is going on. It's on the back burner. Because that person needs me right now. Because it's urgent, emergency, whatever it might be. All else. If somebody called you and said, hey, I need your help right now. I need to go wherever, to the hospital or to see my kid. They're leaving for a month. Immediately, you're going to drop it. You're going to drop it. And that's going to be your priority. And it won't matter what it is. Extreme example, someone dies. Everything in your life changes, and that's your priority because you're going to go to that funeral no matter what else is going on. So those are extremes because I want you to see that when we keep ourselves filled, my friend just said, Lisa said she goes to yoga and Tai Chi to keep herself filled up. I love those classes. To do what you can for yourself. Then when those other situations come up or when someone asks you for more, either you decide that that's not where you're going to put your time and energy, or if it is, you can come from a place that's full instead of burned out because we've overcommitted and overachieved and overproduced, whatever it might be. So awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Lisa. Anybody else have anything that you do or would like to do? Any questions? I'm looking at my computer because I can see it easier. All right, my friends, make it a great week. Comment below. Go to the Hello Extraordinary Life. I also put the free guide in the comments so you can get it right there. It's 3 steps to reprogramming your negative self-talk. It's an amazing guide that I had a friend redo, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's really applicable, easy to use tools and insights about things that we do to ourselves. More ways that you can gain insight into yourself about how to begin shifting and choosing differently in your life so that you can live the best life that you have to live. Hi, Casey. I'm right at the end. So thanks for joining. And the recording will be on Facebook and on YouTube. So that's my maiden name still, Marty Hicks on YouTube. So if that's a place you like to watch things, that's where I'll be there too. Have a great week, and I will see you next week.